Democracy Day 2025. We have Otumba Dr. Kenny Odubemi. Sir, what's your take on the unfinished business of democracy?
My take on unfinished business of democracy is that the gap as a result of this unfinished business is what is giving people opportunity to continue impunity as usual. For instance, fighting for democracy. Democracy is supposed to be an orderly, way of governance. But here in Nigeria, we fight for it, and the fight still continue. Almost all the political parties, even including the opposition, take for instance the PDP, the fight still continue. The LP, the fight still continue. The Caucasia group, the fight still continue. So this is as a result of fallout of democracy. This is unfinished business. And the second one is the rule of law. You understand? Flagrant disobedience of the rule of law is causes the state of anarchy. You can see state of emergency being declared in Rivers State. Whereas across the state of the north, where there is a kind of carnage, where in the northeast, in the northwest, where Boko Haram operates in the northeast, in northwest Nicaragua operate, in the north central, we have Madapa now operating. They are carnage. Life being lost gradually, but there is no state of emergency. This flagrant disobedience, these inequalities is part of the unfinished business of the rule of law. Then two, we say responsible citizens give back to credible leadership. Credible leadership will give back to good governance. Good governance has always been a problem in the sense that there is the priority of the downtrodden is taken to be the last. It's supposed to be from bottom up, but what we're saying from top to bottom. It is true, the federal government has released almost times 3 the money to the state government for what purpose? Is it defined? How do we measure the KPI? How do we measure how the funds are being utilized? This as a result of unfinished business of Junta. The concept of accountability. There's no probability and accountability in what we do. A lot of issues, even the recovery, the EFCC is recovering. Do we have information of how those things have been dissolved? Even the money that the stolen, ill-gotten wealth starting, come to think of it, it is not part of democracy. That Abacha's wife now saying the wife only kept the money in the private account. That's most of the unfinished business. Because the probability and accountability, the gap introduced by June 12th is the one that is causing it. Then secondly, we are now beginning to look at we've been talking about Abiola. Yes, he was a hero. Part of the gap in the unfinished business is that if, for instance, Abiola did not stay in the country by people, greedy people who advise him, the man will still be alive now to see the light of to see democracy. But people who are supporting him are greedy, selfish, self-centered, or they want to be. I appreciate Abiola want to create a change, but the people that are following him, do they believe in him? Is it not part of their greed? It's part of the unfinished business. Then the most unfinished business that is those people who died as a result of characteristic impunity of violence, those people who are killed, you understand, because of the violence that erupted, what has been their gain? Those are the unfinished business. Then two, the businesses of Abiola that they collapse, most of the transactions they do with the federal government, these are life legacies that need to be addressed. Come to think of it, the unfinished business of the democracy is look at what is going on. Do we call this a democracy when there's a kind of when there's no convergence of purpose? When the National Assembly are now rubber stamp, when the judiciary do not move with an impeccable character, when there's a rule for the rich, there's a rule for the poor. Do you say it's a democracy where people are supposed to appear in a case and the AG Attorney General of the Federation is ruling out people? Are we saying the rule that apply to the poor should not apply to the rich? Where impunity, where quota system, where people are greedy, when most of the projects now are regionalized based on politicization, is that democracy? Where the few are enjoying the booty. Look at the state of assembly. They are buying cars, they are the highest paid of the economy, they are enjoying the best of the economy, and they are not even feeling the brush. Do we say is democracy? We appreciated the current president, at least for his political sagacity. We appreciated the bold reform he's doing, but how he's doing it, who he's doing it with, are we achieving results? As of today, we have taken another loan of 21 to almost 24 billion, which will bring our debt to around 187 trillion. This is a debt that we'll continue to pay, and also the kind of donut effect, the kind of psychophancy in the system. Can we imagine we pay 3.4 billion to IMF? We are now asking for 24 billion. Then people are saying credibility. What is the credibility in it? Almost all our resources, almost all our revenue, we still have revenue problem in Nigeria. And yet, we created a ministry of over 49 ministry, and many of them are not even delivering values. Is that democracy? The question, we have a necessary report that was supposed to rationalize, to be able to trim that. Is that democracy? The corruption, the wanton corruption within the civil service, because no minister can steal, no president can steal, no, their corporation are done for them. Is that democracy? We say we are talking about Nigerian force policy. Are we practicing Nigerian force policy? Most of the government, most of the 3 tiers of government are completely dollarized. They use more dollar than the people down the road. Is that democracy? We agree that we have now moved to a third manufacturing status in Nigeria, in West Africa. But these are only done by 2 people, BOA and Dangote Group. Is it democracy? The question we're saying is this: if you look at it, the entire process is like following Pareto principle, where 20% is only feeling the 20% within the government, within their business crony, are the one feeling the democracy themselves. 80% of Nigeria are living in poverty and penury. Is that democracy? I think there's, and 2, why is it the electoral reform have not come to stay? It's because the National Assembly are very greedy, selfish and self-centered. You understand? How come? The northeast is in Komato, the northwest is in Domato, and yes, we have state assembly from those areas. None of them has been able to forward a bill to actually prosecute people to a logical conclusion. No, there haven't been any death sentence of people who kill at the moment. Yet they don't go to their places. They go to their community. They stay in Abuja. Is that democracy? The question is, why are we together? I'm not saying we should go for secession. That we should. The aspect of democracy is for the people, by the people, and with the people, by the people, for the people. Interestingly, why are we still going on? Do we have true federalism? No. Are we not practicing militocracy, kleptocracy, mixed with this democracy? The answer is yes. Do we have true democracy? No. Do we have true federation? No. What we're saying is this: if this administration will, the light of the day we want from this administration is ability for them to actually regionalize, ability for them to restructure, ability for devolution of power. What we're saying, there must be devolution of power. These are the unfinished business of democracy, because the center seems to hold a lot of power, and there's nothing. And then 2, the major problem that people are not talking about, people are the subnational, the state government, they are the ones that are creating major encumbrances, because they don't want to share power with the local government, because the local government seems under their captivity. Look at it now. The entire federation is the sharing formula is 52% go to the federal government, 48% go to state and the local government. As of today, the state is supposed to be 24% and 26%, and the local government 22%. As of today, most of the fund allocation, we created autonomy, but yet the federal across this local government, they don't have their fund being direct to them. There's always a short survey. Do we call it democracy? All those say that the aspect of unfinished business of democracy of June 12. So until we deal with that issue, that's when we talk about democracy. What we have now is a mix of militocracy, autocracy, and territocracy, and electionocracy. So we don't have democracy in Nigeria. Don't let us deceive ourselves. What we have is a mixture of electocracy, militocracy, autocracy, and with a slide of democracy. It's all the forms of government that created democratic setting. Then we have National Assembly, we have the Senate chamber, we have the lower assembly, we have we have the state assembly, but all of them have been cornered. All of them have not been able to deliver meaningful value, whereas they spend so much. So we don't have democracy. We only have a form of democracy that have not given up peace. The only thing we expect is let there be destructuring, let there be regionalizing, let there be devolution of power. Then we can have what we call democracy.
Wow, thank you very much. That was a very detailed exposition there. Thank you. You've had with us Otumba Dr. Kennedy Ugbemi. Great one, sir.
Thank you.
Happy Democracy Day.
Thank you.